Alright, so let's start off with the sauce. What I'm going to be using is olive oil. That's extra virgin olive oil. Flour, plain white flour. 1 onion. That was actually bigger than I need, so I'm going to use half of that onion. A few cloves of garlic. Going to chop the garlic, dice the onion. 1 can of beef broth. That's about a 10.5 ounce can, I believe. I've got about 8 ounces of mushrooms. Those are baby bellas. You want them sliced. And I've got Marsala wine. Okay, so those are your ingredients for the sauce. Let me chop this stuff up a little bit and I'll get right back. Okay, so we got the olive oil in the pan here on the stove over medium heat. We're going to let that heat up a little bit. Obviously not to the smoking point. We're going to let it heat up till it's ready to saute the onions and the garlic, which is what we're going to go in with next. I'll be right back. Okay, we got our olive oil heated up, and I think this is about 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil up in here. Let's add in the onion and garlic. Saute that up till the onions start to get a little translucent. It shouldn't take very long. Keep them moving. You don't want them to burn, obviously. If you ever watch my videos, you know I love onion and garlic, and I love the way this stuff smells. Seriously. Alright, I think they look good. Let's add the mushrooms. Saute these in with the butter. I'm sorry, with the onions and the garlic. I got this recipe off of a website. I'll put the website link in the description box in case you want to go check it out. Pretty simple recipe. I've never tried it before, so hopefully it'll work out. We want these mushrooms to get soft. I'm trying to heat down. I was on medium high. I'm sorry, I was on medium. I'm going to turn it down to kind of a medium low. Because once I put those mushrooms in there, my olive oil got soaked up. Smells really good. I want these mushrooms to get a little bit softer. I'm going to add just a little more olive oil. Help the mushrooms soften up. There you go. And it comes along. Alright. I'm going to get in there with a couple of tablespoons of flour. Maybe do a little 2 1/4 tablespoons. And you're just going to cook that quickly just to let it start to meld together with the garlic, onions, and mushrooms. Alright. You've obviously got a very dry pan at this point. Make sure your heat is down on medium, low medium at this point. Okay. You see that's very thick now. It's all together. Obviously, you introduce flour into something like this. That's what's going to happen. All right. You're going to see it sticking to the bottom of the pan, but the next step is going to be to deglaze that, so don't worry about that right now. That's going to turn into flavor. The flour you see, if you see what I mean, all this right here, we're going to deglaze that in just 1 second. In fact, let's do it now. We're going to add half a cup of Marsala wine. And go ahead and deglaze that pan. See all that flavor coming up. All that flavor, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'm gonna take this off the heat for a quick second. Turn my heat down some, bring this back to the heat. I'm going to go in with the can of chicken broth. I'm sorry, beef broth. Let's get this a good mix. You want it to be nice and thick. Okay. You're going to introduce salt and pepper to taste. I'm going to give this a quick taste. You're going to let this thicken. Now I'm going to give it a quick taste. Let's see if we're on the right track.
Can I do it right here?
Yep. That's really good. That's really good, YouTube. So I'm going to let it thicken a little bit more. Not even much more. And that's a really good sauce. I like that. Not just because I cooked it. I just like it because it's good. Be right back. I just figured real quick, let me give you one little look above the pan so you can see it a little bit better than you could from that tripod. I don't know if that lighting is the best light. Maybe it was. See, it's really rich. I've turned it down to low at this point because I think it's as thick as it needs to be. Alright? I'll be right back. That's the chicken breasts, or 3 of them. In this case, we're going to use 3. And what you're going to want to do with them is, for each one, these are fat chicken breasts, as you can see. Each one, you're going to lay it down, and you're going to carefully get right about the half point. And what you want to do with these is try as best you can. It's not always easy to do. In fact, you see that one, it's a lot thinner on the bottom than it was on the top. But you want to try to cut them in half. And it's hard to do with chicken breast. It really is. I struggle with it still. But I'm gonna try it again. Cut it in half. Now there you go. This one's perfect. That's about half and half. Alright? And we're gonna do this last one. And the reason you're doing this is because the way we're gonna cook these. There you go. And that one's good too. So 2 out of 3. Not so bad. The reason you're doing it this way is because when you cook these, you're not going to be able to cook a whole chicken breast the way we're going to cook these. They will never cook appropriately. They would cook on the outside, not on the inside. So that's why we want to cut them in half so that they'll cook faster and cook the way that we want to cook them. Alright? So give me a second. We'll be right back. Okay? For this chicken marsala, I'm going to cook the chickens. I'm going to cook the chicken 2 different types of ways. But I'm going to use the same seasoning in both of them, and so I'll show you what I'm going to be using. And it's really simple. I'm doing pepper. I'm doing a decent amount of pepper, and then I'm doing a blend of sea salt and garlic. And you're going to hit both sides with that sea salt and garlic, as well as pepper. And feel free to be generous with the sea salt and garlic. I am, because I like salt and I like garlic. All right. So let me get the rest of these done, and I'll get back. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is get the chicken ready. I got two different types of chicken I'm going to be preparing. One of them is off a griddle, and that's this first one that I'm ready to show you. For the pieces that I'm doing off the griddle, I'm about to put some oil on here. This is a mix of 1 part olive oil to 1 part stir-fry oil. I use the stir-fry oil because in the griddle, it's a higher burning oil, obviously, and also it gives a, it's got a unique flavor to it. I like the taste of stir-fry oil, and you kind of mix it with olive oil. It works out really well. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just getting those ready, and that's all I got to do with those. Rub the oil on both sides. Of course, you saw earlier I already put the seasoning on here. All right. We should be about to wrap this up. All right, so I'll set those to the side. Now I'm going to have the other chicken that I'm going to pull out. Those are the other 4 pieces. So I'm going to do 2 on that griddle. I'm doing 4 this other manner. And what I'm going to be doing is just simply dredging, very lightly dredging those pieces of chicken in that flour. And I don't want to, heavily fry this, obviously. I want a little bit of batter on it, just a coating, really. And I'm going to be doing this on a towel outside, and I'll show you that when we get to that point in a second. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is the grilled chicken on the griddle. So let's throw that up there. And once we get them on there, let's take a listen to what they sound like. Alright, so keep in mind these are chicken breasts that are cut in half, as I pointed out, and that was the reason I cut them in half. If you remember me mentioning that, is because we wanted these to cook quickly and efficiently, and you obviously can't do that on this kind of griddle with a whole chicken breast. What you get is something that's overcooked on the outside, dry on the outside, and not cooked at all on the inside. So we're really doing these for a couple minutes on each side. You see it's got those nice sear marks. So let's go back and take another listen to how this sounds while it's cooking. Sounds really good. Alright, those are good. We're going to take these off. We're going to sit these over in a little pan on the side. Those will be good for right now. Alright, so now we're back. We're doing the second set of chicken. And this is going to be very lightly breaded chicken. We're not doing it heavily. We don't want that. We got a hot pan right here, and we're just gonna throw those in there. And let those kind of not fry. It's almost like pan frying a piece of fish. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm using stir-fry oil to do this in. Okay? Light coating the flour, very light. Not like a strong batter like you're going to fry some fish. Just light coating. Last one. Get that over there. Alright? Get some oil on it. And what we're going to do is, we're going to turn this heat up actually. Because we don't want it to spend a lot of time on this heat. What we want to happen is burn that outside, not burn it, but cook that outside, get that flour base infused into the chicken, flip it, do the same thing, and then we'll do the same thing we did with these grilled ones, which is ultimately, I'll show you in a second, we're going to put those in the oven. There you go. You got your little bit of crust on each side. On the first side, brother. And you'll get your little bit of crust on this second side. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just finish these chicken breasts in terms of getting that crust on them that I was talking about. And then we're going to get them in the oven probably for 10 or 15 minutes. Probably 10 minutes. The oven is preheated at 350. Throw them in. That's how we're going to finish them off. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so what we're going to do right here is some sweet peppers. We got some different sweet peppers we're going to put on. I'm just going to fire these up. Just lost one right there, as you can see. We're going to fire these up over high heat. Get some smoke on them. Get some grill marks on them. Get some searing on them. I got those. They were sitting in that same oil, that mixture of olive oil, 1/2 olive oil to 1/2 stir fry oil. A lot of flavor. Right there, you see I'm pouring some oil over top of them. I want to do that because I want the grill marks, the flavor, that smoke that's coming up off of there's flavor, and ultimately I want these to catch fire. I'm going to go ahead and move forward to the end of this video where they do catch fire, and right after they did, we ran out of memory on the video card. So we caught it for a second. It's kind of nice when they hit, and you can get some additional flavor from it, and it's just fun to cook and with open flames, to be honest with you. So let's move forward and check that out. Okay, so here you go. You can see they're looking real good. You can see the oil shining on them. That stir-fry oil and that olive oil combination is really good. A lot of flavor. I didn't mention this, but you don't need to put any seasonings on them. I mean, they are what they are. They're good by themselves. That oil is all the seasoning you're going to need. They got some good grill marks on them. They're starting to get a little tender right where you want them. The texture is going to be right. The flame is going to pop up with a second. Like I said, the camera's going to cut off right after that. But you only leave them in flame for, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You ain't trying to burn them to a crisp. All right. There we go. There we go. Smashed potatoes. And by the way, I tasted these and they're really good. We'll start with that. We're going to go in next with a piece of chicken right on top. And this is one of the fried ones with the flour on it instead of the grilled ones. We steamed a little bit of broccoli. We're going to put that on the side. Just a couple pieces. Sweet peppers that I showed you that we put on the grill. And these are really good. I actually tasted one. I couldn't help myself. I actually tasted one to get started. And then, of course, we're going to go on top the Marsala sauce. And I'm going to get some around there on the edges because I like gravy. I like sauce. If it's a gravy dish, I like gravy. If it's a sauce dish, I like the sauce. We're going to get that all in there so it fits to my liking. All right. Okay, so we got the plate set up. Let's take a taste of it. I think I started off with just a little bit of the broccoli. That's just steamed broccoli with a little bit of butter in it, I think. A little bit of salt and pepper. It was really good. Here I'm going to go in for the pepper. And these sweet peppers are really good, I can tell you that. And just with that oil on them, they were like really, really good. I enjoyed it. Really tasty pepper. And now I'm going to slice into this chicken a little bit. And you'll see as I'm slicing into it, it's really tender. And that's one of the things I'm trying to point out in this video. It's really tender chicken. Look how easily it slices. Really, really tender. Alright, so here we go. Let's get the taste test in there. There it is, there it is, there it is. Looks good, tastes good. I can tell you it was really good. It was really, really good. It really was. Really tender. That sauce was incredible. You can see me gesticulating with my fork. I really enjoyed it. Share, like, favorite, do all that stuff for me, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace. Peace.